Liberal leader Mark Carney is off the campaign trail today for prime ministerial duties. Carney said members of the Canada-U.S. Relations Cabinet Committee had a good, long discussion on reactions from other countries to U.S. tariff policy. Our correspondent, Wyatt Sharpe, spoke with Conservative strategist Kate Harrison about Mark Carney returning to Ottawa to deal with the trade war situation while also navigating a federal election.
Yeah, hey Theresa, we're here at the Canada Strong and Free Networking Conference still. I'm here with Kate Harrison, who's the Vice Chair of SUMA Strategies. Kate, Mark Carney has come back to Ottawa to deal with kind of this issue of tariffs that is being posed by Donald Trump. I asked Danielle Smith about this as well, and she said that retaliatory tariffs are not the answer, which kind of illustrates this picture of tension between some people at the provincial level versus at the federal level. From a political standpoint, how does Mark Carney go about dealing about this, while also understanding that he's in the middle of an election campaign?
Yeah, thanks, Wyatt. I think the thing to understand here is that it is important politically for Mr. Carney to continue to have a level of disagreement and tension and anxiety with Donald Trump right now. Their entire political campaign is really staked around the importance and consequence of the tariff war, of the nature of the relationship with the United States. So to now, for a third time in less than 3 weeks, pause the campaign to resume, active duty as Prime Minister when, at an optical level, we had some good news this week. Not all the tariffs are gone, of course, but what is changing to the degree now that would require Mr. Carney to pause his campaign without inherently ratcheting up some of the attention and the urgency that is important to making their campaign successful. So I think that it is a bit of a clever, convenient way to keep the urgency of that Canada-U.S. relationship and issue at the fore, when in practical reality, we have a bit of a pause. This election is about more than that. But for Mr. Carney, he's really trying to keep the focus squarely on that, and the campaign pause suits that benefit, or suits that end.
Yeah, and I wonder too, because at least people I've been talking to say they care about other issues aside from just the tariffs. They want to hear about the cost of living, about the environment, about energy.
Of course.
And yet it seems as if Mark Carney, at least the polls are suggesting, is going to win this election. And you don't want to draw any conclusions too early necessarily, but with respect to that balance of needing to talk about the tariffs, but also the other issues, which Pierre Poilievre has been doing. Why is that not resonating more with people?
Yeah, I think there's an interesting story here around demographics. I think that if you are a younger Canadian, somebody who is trying to get into the housing market, somebody who's thinking about starting a family, or younger, you are very worried about the cost of living and affordability and these issues, housing, etc. I think that largely older Canadians who perhaps have their homes paid for already, who consume a lot of 24/7 news, are more drawn into the drama around this relationship. So I do think there's an interesting demographic piece here. The media is also looking very intensely at the Canada-U.S. relationship, and because Mr. Carney does not wish to talk about the other issues, because of course that would require a defense of the last 9 years and some of the things that have gone wrong in that time for the Liberal team that he is a part of. He is trying very hard to keep the focus there. So I believe that it is working for a cohort of the electorate.
Yeah.
We have 2 weeks left to go. I think that there's some time there for the Conservatives to start making a real push on the fact that our problems did not begin in January, and they won't get better unless there is a real change at the federal level.
And let me conclude with this. Obviously, Justin Trudeau had become quite unpopular amongst Canadians. He was Prime Minister for 10 years. When you are Prime Minister for that long, again, Canadians, I think, eventually have some apathy towards you. What do you think with respect to, the Conservatives, and they were kind of able to draw that connection between Mark Carney and Justin Trudeau.
Right.
But then when Mark Carney came out and canceled the consumer carbon tax, canceled the capital gains increase, it almost makes it harder, it seems, for them to draw that picture.
Yes.
Pierre Poilievre, it seems, is still trying, but maybe it's just not as effective with, what he's saying now.
I think I would give Mr. Carney some credit in terms of being able to position as enough of a change, enough of a departure. part of that, I think, is due to the previous, the Liberals under Justin Trudeau being Justin Trudeau's party and a party of one. A new person comes in, they're able to make the case that they are change, even though in practice and reality, that's not necessarily the case. So I think the key for the Conservatives is to highlight the record, highlight that, electing the people who made the mess to clean it up is not going to change our situation. But I would be making it perhaps a little bit more about the Liberal team, many of whom are coming back to run again for Mr. Carney. All the people advising Mr. Carney are, of course, Trudeau Liberal advisors. So I'd be trying to broaden that a bit more to talk about the same team not being the right ones to fix it, and the Conservative team being the ones that are the real change option in this election.
And it's interesting you say that. Any Carney rally that I've covered so far, when I go there, all of the people there are people I recognize from covering Trudeau's stuff. So
I can't say I am surprised. Yeah.
Kate Harrison, thank you so much.
Thank you, Wyatt.
All right, Theresa, we'll send it back to you.